keynote address on the theme Catalyzing Youth Voices for Quality Skills Development for Sustainable Employability in Africa, Deputy Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Sajo Aziz Kamara, said that the African Skills Week should mark the beginning of a concerted effort to place youth at the center of the continent's development agendas. He emphasized the need for collaboration between youth, policymakers, educators, and industry leaders to transform skills development systems. This will ensure education and training programs are better aligned with industry demands, leading to sustainable employability for Africa's young population. Sajo Aziz Kamara highlighted the progress Sierra Leone has made in the area of technical and vocational education and training, TVET, as Sierra Leone recently completed a World Bank-funded skills development project that trained over 20,000 beneficiaries and strengthened the capacity of public and private TVET institutions. He encouraged young people to continue advocating for policies that promote quality education and skills training, foster entrepreneurship, and ensure access to opportunities in emerging sectors. For Slbc News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
The United Nations Office of the West Africa and Sahel and the UN Women have concluded the 15th edition of the Regional Open Day on the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325. The UNSC Resolution 1325 is cognizant about the protection and empowerment of women and girls in the aftermath of armed conflict. The event brought together key regional stakeholders to discuss the progress and challenges in advancing roles of women, youth, peace and security agenda in West Africa and the Sahel. Jonathan Turner again reports.
The forum provided a platform for direct dialogue between senior UN officials and women and young leaders from across the sub-region. Special representative of the UN Secretary General for West Africa and Sahel, Simayo Leonardo, underscored the importance of ensuring that women and young people have a central role in shaping peace and security strategies, noting that the full implementation of Resolution 1325 and its subsequent resolutions was essential for sustainable peace in West Africa and Sahel.
Open days on the Security Council Resolution 1325 on women, peace and security are an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to supporting the participation of women in building peaceful and prosperous societies. Dear women, young women and men, leaders from the rural and urban areas of West Africa and the Sahel, thank you for the trust you have placed in the United Nations.
Government officials praised the contributions of women and youth to conflict resolution efforts in the country, and they remain committed to fostering partnerships that prioritize women's leadership and youth engagement in all peace and security initiatives.
Well, we're working together with all the ministries, so it is a multi-sectoral approach that we are taking. The third aspect is increased participation and representation of women in governance and decision-making bodies, including the security sector institutions.
1325 and progressive laws like the Gender Equality and Empowerment Act and Women's Empowerment Act of 2023. We have made notable progress in enhancing women's participation in leadership, peace building, and decision making.
Participants shared their experiences and challenges they face, including persistent gender-based violence, limited access to decision-making platforms, and the impacts of insecurity on youth development. Despite these obstacles, they highlighted significant progress made in advancing the women, youth, peace and security agenda. The Regional Open Day, launched in 2010, continues to serve as a unique opportunity for women and youth to influence national and regional policies on conflict resolution and peace building. The outcomes of this year's discussions will inform ongoing efforts to address the challenges faced by women and young people in the region organization, ensuring that they remain at the forefront of peace and security efforts. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
Now, young people from across Mano River Union countries have been engaged on internet usage and governance through the Mano River Union Internet Governance Forum. The two-day engagement, which was held at the Brookfield Hotel in Freetown, was also meant to bridge digital divide for inclusive development. Mohammed Koma has more.
Young people are considered ardent internet users who either share information or connect with people around the world. However, in an evolving internet space where misinformation and disinformation are prevalent, young people need proper education on internet usage and governance. That was the reason young people from Mano River Union countries such as Sierra Leone, Guinea, Liberia and Ivory Coast were engaged at New Brookfields Hotel in Freetown on the need for proper usage of the internet.
When it comes to safety and security, we spoke about cybersecurity. How do we keep young people safe? How do we keep families safe? How do we keep women safe? A lot of times we have seen and we have heard stories where people are being bullied on the internet, right? We have seen pictures. Even when, in our community sometimes, when somebody dies, quick, somebody takes a video of it and they share it all over the internet. Sometimes the family members don't even know this person has died, but everybody else knows about it. So thinking about how do we really become more responsibility when it comes to using the internet.
Representatives from Liberia and Guinea shared their experiences on the current internet situation in their various countries, stating that their experiences were not too different from Sierra Leone. The occasion was further spiced up with a panel discussion where stakeholders within the domain of communication and internet discussed on how to make communication across Mano River Union countries easier, affordable and accessible. For SLBC, Mohammed Kouma reporting.
We had addressed some of the issues together with all the stakeholders, and now we have come back to listen to all the stakeholders as to how they see the implementation of the agreement for national unity. Those were the words of the former Vice President of Gambia, Fatmatu Jallow Tambajan, who is leading a delegation to Sierra Leone to follow up on the progress of the Tripartite Committee. She was speaking during a courtesy call to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Kaba. Soyi Kamara was there for the SLBC.
The former Vice President of the Gambia is leading a delegation that comprises ECOWAS, Commonwealth, African Union, and United Nations. Fatoumata Jallow commended stakeholders in Sierra Leone for the role assigned to international guarantors in the implementation of the recommendations of the Tripartite Committee or the Agreement for National Unity. She emphasized the need for collaboration between government and other stakeholders and the need for electoral justice. Madam Jallow also commended the leadership of the president in the consolidation of peace and electoral reforms, and that they were back in Sierra Leone to listen to all stakeholders as to how they see the implementation of the agreements for national unity.
We will be coming from time to time. It's not monitoring and supporting. It's not one-time process. We support, we advocate, and at the same time we involve international partners to also support the process. So we're taking a holistic approach, and we are appreciating the necessity to come from time to time to monitor. Specifically, the objective would be to engage again all stakeholders, listen to them, to find out how they see the peace process, how they are living with the peace process, how they are working towards this national cohesion that is much needed, only not for Sierra Leone but for the rest of the continent.
Special Representative of the UN Secretary General Leonardo Santos Simao and Envoy of the Commonwealth Mbogoli Masaga also urged stakeholders to foster peace and move forward. The Commonwealth Envoy said their role was to render technical assistance at the request of the people of Sierra Leone. He encouraged all parties to meet the expectations of their people and allow peace to be entrenched for Sierra Leone to be an example of a post-war nation. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Timothy Kaba told the visiting delegation that President Bio and other stakeholders were fully committed to the implementation of the tripartite committee. He noted ongoing parliamentary efforts and cross-party dialogues.
We have seen cross-party visitations. We've seen political leaders in the country meeting and discussing the progress of our country. Parliament is in full functioning. In fact, the government has in fact asked Parliament to come for an important deliberation. If it wasn't the intervention of our international stakeholders and the willingness of the local stakeholders to work together for the progress of our country, we will not have Parliament coming out from recess to respond to the need of government.
The tripartite committee, which comprises the government of Sierra Leone, main opposition APC, and international partners, was set up following the 2023 elections to review Sierra Leone electoral laws. Suri Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
Now, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Henny Musapaka, briefed the press about feed salon report held at UIL building. He said Sierra Leone saved about $20 million since the project was launched of importation of rice, eggs, onion, and other local produce. He made this disclosure during a press conference held at the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security as a way to celebrate the achievements made so far and also commemorate World Food Day. Our reporter Christina Kamara has more. We apologize for that. We'll bring you that report in subsequent edition of News Hour. Away from that, visibility studies are critical in project implementation, as well as without well-conducted visibility, it would be difficult to attract donor support for project implementation. In order to address this challenge, the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development has signed a fiduciary agreement with the Ministries of Energy, Fisheries and Marine Resources, and Communication, Technology and Innovation. The agreement will also utilize the trusted expertise and leadership in the various ministries to implement key development projects by the end of the year. Dennis Fraser has the details. The National Social Security and Insurance Trust, NASIT, has officially launched its annual Customer Service Week with a series of events aimed at honoring its customers and staff while extending a helping hand to the community. Joseph Tori tells us more.
The launch, held with much excitement, highlighted the importance of customer appreciation and service exchange within the organization. One of the notable guests at the event was retired Captain Mafule Bangura, a pensioner who served over 39 years in the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, RSLAF. With a glowing sense of gratitude, retired Captain Bangura shared her experience with NASIT over the years. She expressed deep appreciation for the staff's professionalism and dedication in ensuring that pensioners like her receive timely and consistent support.
You see, we came, they called us, and she gave us our check. We went to the bank, we received our salary. Now, at the end of every month, I don't think only a pensioner who wants to lie. I don't think there's any pensioner who is not receiving his or her salary. I can challenge anyone.
The week-long celebration included various events such as donations to the rainy season orphanage, reaffirming NACIT's commitment to supporting vulnerable groups in society. The donation is a reflection of the organization's dedication to social responsibility beyond its core mission of ensuring financial security for the nation's workers. Additionally, the week featured an update day where customers were encouraged to visit NACIT offices to update their personal details, ensuring that their status remains current and their benefits are processed efficiently. This initiative was particularly important for pensioners and contributors alike, as it helps prevent delays in payments and allows NACIT to maintain accurate records. Speaking at the launch, NACIT Director General Mohamed Fouad Dabo emphasized the value of NACIT's customers, referring to them as the organization's greatest assets. He assured the audience that NACIT remains committed to providing timely and reliable benefits to all its members.
For the fact that people are testifying that will make difference in their lives, for the fact that people believe NACIT should be a way of life and we should exist, that makes us proud. I think well in our slogan, NACIT will do what? We care. NACIT we care. It sinks well into that slogan.
To further boost morals and acknowledge exceptional service, certificates were awarded to staff members who have demonstrated efficiency and effectiveness in dealing with customers. The recognition served as a reminder of the vital role the NACIT staff plays in maintaining the organization's reputation for customer care and service delivery. As Customer Service Week progresses, NACIT's efforts to blend customer appreciation with community outreach continue to showcase the organization's commitment to not only serving its members but also contributing to the well-being of Sierra Leonean society as a whole. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
Now, the National Grand Coalition NGC party has held a press briefing to address rumors surrounding the suspension of the previous acting chairman of the party, Jesmond Suma, and the dissolution of the alliance between the party and the Sierra Leone People's Party. The press briefing was held at the party's headquarters at Nimbana Street in Freetown. Our reporter Stella Bangura has more on that story.
The National Grand Coalition Party acting chairman and leader Alhaji Amadou Sharif called on media houses to affirm the suspension of the then chairman and leader Jesmed Fudi Suma and to clarify rumors pertaining his suspension. He said that the party, being a democratic body which upholds the value of the country's constitution, is also operated by the party's constitution. Acting chairman and leader Alhaji Amadou Sharif told media houses the facts and outcomes of their previous meeting, which was organized and chaired by the then chairman Jesmed Suma on the 5th of October 2024, contrary to rumors stating his absence. According to him, the suspension of Mr. Jesmed Suma was in line with the party's constitution in Section 16, subsection 3, which mandates the National Executive Committee, NEC, to discipline members for any misconduct.
Mr. Kunete stated the following reasons why Mr. Jesmed Fodi Suma should be suspended from the party. Number one, for unilaterally suspending two senior party members, Mr. Theophilus Morris, alias DJ Million, and Muhammad Ali Diallo, alias March, without following the constitutional procedures of our party. Number two, for unilaterally increasing the membership registration and subscription fees of our party without the approval of the National Executive Committee and the National Delegate Conference, which is contrary to our party constitution. Number three, denouncing the alliance publicly in the media without the approval of the National Executive Committee and National Delegate Conference, which is considered as anti-party activity, and for also putting our party in disrepute and public ridicule.
For these reasons, according to the acting chairman, is a violation of Section 52, subsection 1 of the party's constitution, resulting to the suspension. He also clarified misinformation on the dissolution of the alliance between the National Grand Coalition, NGC, and the Sierra Leone People's Party, SLPP.
And we entered into alliance through the National Executive Committee and ratified by the delegate conference, the National Delegate Conference. We had agreed. But he went on air and publicly denounced and apologized on behalf of the party for going into alliance with the SLPP. And that was not our agreement. It is on record that our party formally entered into an alliance with the ruling SLPP, in which he, Jesmet Suma, was signatory to that particular alliance agreement. Members of the press, this is Mr. Jesmet Suma's signature.
More information on the alliance, he said, will be disclosed on December 14th, 2024, during the party's National Delegates Conference, which will be held in Makeni. Executive members of the party also addressed issues of misinformation on the suspension of Jesmet Suma, and asked that members of the party and the press continue to foster unity and rebrand the image of credibility of the party. For SLBC News Hour in Freetown, Stella Bangura reporting.
United we stand. We stand united. United we stand. We stand united.
Well, it's now time for business update.
Hello and welcome to Business Updates, the segment that brings you insight in business and its contribution towards positively impacting the economy. I am Moses Conte. In today's edition, SLBC takes a look at the hiking price of green leaves in various markets in Freetown. Though we are in a raining season, there is an increase of prices of green leaves such as cassava leaf, green and others in the market. Customers and traders across Freetown are grumbling. Aminata Saisiri went out to gauge the situation at Kungu Market and files in this report.
Traders and customers in the capital city Freetown are facing increasing challenges due to the increase in the price of cassava leaf, green, and green. Traders are saying that the increase in the price is due to the heavy downpour and bad road network. The price increase is also affecting other businesses. Customers say the situation is affecting their choice of source, while traders are complaining of slow sales. Yenken Sise sells cassava leaf at Congo Market.
Cassava leaf, they buy it 100 for dozen, the red one. The white leaf, they buy 150 for dozen. So we try 5,000. We try to buy 30, 50, 60. For now, that's our business, Simona. We try 3,000.
Another trader, Musu Kamara, who sells green and green at Congo Market.
Green, they buy the one side 40, we sell at 50. The water business, the water don't pour all the plantation, so that's what comes with the stream.
Additionally, a clear contrast now shows that an increment of 25 loans has been added to the price of these local commodities. Business people are calling for a quick intervention that will salvage the situation, fearing that the effects could cripple the entire city's economic activities. SLBC News are in Freetown. Aminata Saise reporting.
Many thanks to Aminata Saise for that report. Well, that's all for this edition of Business Updates. I am Moses Conte. Keep watching.
From Business Updates, let's find out the latest in entertainment.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News with me, Christiana Kamara. In this edition of Entertainment News, Kemilia Kagbo of Aberdeen community has emerged as winner of the Miss All is Gold pageant organized by the Wantoni Organization for the Aged. The highly colorful and dramatic event was to celebrate all the people in commemorating the International Day of the Aged. Our intern, Esther Nene Kamara, witnessed the event at the Freetown City Hall and filed this report. The Miss All is Gold pageant event was filled with fun and entertainment from various performers, which brought joy to the audience. The founder and CEO of the Wantoni Organization for the Aged, Doreen Barry, shared that, despite their age, older people deserve the same opportunities and joys as the younger generation.
Because this program is part of the activities we are organizing as an organization to commemorate the month of the elderly, and today we had a successful event. We organized Miss All is Gold Beauty pageant. It was not just a pageant for the elderly women, but we also had and officially launched the golden models, which means now we have both the men and the women who are elderly.
Minister of Social Welfare, Melrose Kamiti, urged the audience and young people to listen and respect the elderly. She reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to supporting the older persons, emphasizing that aging is not a disease.
Old people are integral part of we. Old not to sickness, old age not to disease, not to anything we bad, nothing we get dignity, nothing we for celebrate. Because some people then sometimes the day when they born and I die. Some man is just they reach, especially these days. When you reach this age, you for tell God thank you. Not so. We for tell God thank you and celebrate them. And so myself go on for day, so that I go car and do Miss All is Gold.
5 contestants from different communities participated in the pageantry. Madam Kadi Johnson from Yams Farm, Aissatou Bongo Sise from Magazine Court, Amnata Sise from Kube, Nene Conte from Congo Town, and Kemilia Kagbo from Aberdeen. Sierra Leone's legendary artist Jimmy Bangura, popularly known as Jimmy B, launched the Dofa Golden Models and encouraged Sierra Leoneans to foster a spirit of support and unity.
Having said all of that, I want to declare Golden Model, Golden Model, declare the program open in its launch today.
At the end of the program, Madam Kemilia Kagbo emerged as the winner of Miss All is Gold 2024, with Nene Conte as the first runner-up. Amnata Sise as the second runner-up. Aissatou Bongo Sise received the Madam Talent Award, and Kadi Johnson being named Madam Personality.
I feel good. I feel proud, and I tell God thank you because now God do one for me. And I tell God thank you because while young I be they maintain me life, and what they do it, I don't reach up to this age, I still looking good. So I feel good and give God all the praise, and my family and my community, I tell them thank you.
Events like these are crucial for the elderly as they provide a sense of belonging, making them feel appreciated and celebrated in society. That's all for entertainment news. I am Christiana Kamara. Goodbye.
Alright, many thanks to Christiana Kamara for that entertainment update. From there, we move over to our sports desk.
Hello and welcome to Sports Update News. I am a presenter, Esther Marie Samoa. In this edition of the Sport News, Sierra Leone beat African champions Ivory Coast in the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers by a goal to nil at the SKD Stadium in Monrovia, Liberia. The 85th minute header from Amadou Bakayoko and the team the milestone feat. Well, the group is still open with Ivory Coast already through to the Nations Cup. Sierra Leone put up a stellar performance throughout the match. Here is an highlight of the game.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh, Sierra Leone has scored. Let's see what happens. Oh, Sierra Leone has scored.
The head coach of the team, Amidou Karim, was happy about the outcome of the match.
Yeah, I said it yesterday. Never mind, we lost 4-0 to them. I know they are a very strong team, great players, but every match has a different approach. We are approaching differently from what we saw in the last match. We correct some mistakes, then we improve on what we have to get to achieve. We still have a chance, and I'm very optimistic that we will qualify in the group stage. But this time, now we have 4 points. We are going over to our house in order to come back against.
Congratulations, Leonsters. It was indeed a great feat. But that's it for Sports Updates on this. I have been your presenter, Esther Marisa Moasin. Goodbye, keep watching TSLBC.
Many thanks to our sports desk for that update, and that's all in this edition of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Now to end the news with top stories again. Parliament has unanimously approved the Millennium Challenge Compact and the Program Implementation Agreement between the Republic of Sierra Leone and the United States of America. The Sierra Leone Standards Bureau and partners have concluded a conference to commemorate World Standards Day on the theme Achieving Industry Innovation and Infrastructure Through Artificial Intelligence, Our Shared Vision for a Better World. And the Director General of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, Josephine Kamara, has said that since her assumption to the office, the corporation has been enjoying a very fair and free operation and ensuring a pluralistic airspace. Madam Kamara made this disclosure during the Ministry of Information weekly press briefing in Freetown. And that's all in this edition of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Thanks for watching, and do continue to stay tuned to the public broadcaster DSLBC. Coming up next is Good Morning Sierra Leone with Frances Bernard and Emmanuel Samora. My name is Cecilia Alice Tisse. Stay with us. Goodbye.
You ready for the Zoom meeting today with the investor then?
Yes, boss. I'm ready for the meeting today. And I don't download all the reports they sent to me on the internet.
Make sure so you get super connection, because I don't want one problem during the meeting.
Everything is okay. Everything is fine.
Counting on you, even though we're not in the same office. I will be with you every step of the way.
We are the national broadcaster, and I am Sulaiman Baba Toure, a reporter and presenter at the SLBC. Your voice, my voice.
From the commercial department, I am Regina Bangura. You are watching SLBC, your voice, my voice.
I am Jonathan Turner, a reporter for Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC. As a reporter, I do stories on education, health, politics, and more. Stay glued with SLBC to watch my stories. Your voice, my voice.
Lucian Ganda, producer Wayus, and producer and presenter Christian Renditions on TV. This is the SLBC.
I am William Wise, presenter Wayus and also reporter at the SLBC. And this is the SLBC.
I am Salma Taba, television executive producer. I produce programs on both radio and television. I'm a news anchor, a presenter, an announcer on radio. I enjoy what I do because I serve a public service broadcaster. It's a pleasure to work with the SLBC. I am Tilly Koma, Head of News and Current Affairs Unit, Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Our news hour now covers several segments. We have entertainment, business, weather, sports, ferry schedule, and human interest stories, not forgetting politics. We are doing all that to keep you people posted on what's happening all over the country. Thanks for being with us at SLBC. Keep blue. We are the best.
Love the fish, we get them every day. we don't run away. We come for better. We people that want for see what till we they do. We people that want for know what till we they say. Oh, we let we sorrow.
Life no go ever sweet without
that thing what we call love. Now that make
No fact na a very good program. Where any big person can look and enjoy.
Now the kind program we for spend time for watch. Now the kind program we for spend time for sit down for look.
And this program it may around land format and I wonder you say land.
The Love Factor show is about family, love, counseling,
relationship. We say we dey build and maintain relationship. This na program. We say we dey counsel you for let you know how for dey with your partner, let you know how for settle disputes between you and your heart to heart.
Well, you do hear it for yourself.
join the Love Factor team
every Sunday 10 p.m.
for help make we all enjoy love and peace.
This morning here at Broadcasting House. Hello and welcome to our breakfast program. Good morning, Sierra Leone. As always, this program starts today with analysis and views on issues of national concern. We are your presenters, Francis Bernard and I'm
Emmanuel Samoa.
Well, our quote of the day is a wise word and it says, if you wait too much, you will miss opportunities, and opportunities comes but once. This is indeed a food for thought. So coming up in the program today, Emmanuel.
As today is World Food Day, World Food Program to give updates on the significance of the day to address hunger and food security. As NGC suspended acting chairman refuted claims of suspension referring to it as unconstitutional. unconstitutional and illegitimate.
And the Youth for Human Rights Freetown chapter advocate for human rights education, drugs and child rights. These stories plus more, including your text messages, which you can send to the number you find on your screen, or you find us on our Facebook page, Slbc TV Live. The program is Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Welcome back. The program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Well, now we'll start the discussion proper to our first headline story. World Food Day is to commemorate the founding of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in 1945. The day is celebrated by many other organizations concerned with hunger and food security, including the World Food Programme, World Health Organization and the International Fund for Agricultural Development. WFP received the Global Prize in Peace for 2020 for their efforts to combat hunger, contribute to peace in conflict areas, and for playing a leading role in stopping the use of hunger in the form of a weapon for war and conflict. The World Food Day theme is Rights to Food for a Better Life and Better Future. In the studio we have Adama Kamara. She is the Program Policy Officer of World Food Programme. Good morning, Madam Kamara.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Madam Kamara, this particular day, the celebration for this year, the theme is Rights to Food for a Better Life and Better Future. What is the significance of this theme?
The World Food Day, as we all know, it is a worldwide celebration, and as the theme is Right to Food for Better Life and Better Future. Right, as it is stated, it's a fundamental right. The access to food, issues of access to food is a fundamental human right. And we are talking about access and availability. All over the world, issues of food are a primary concern. So October 16 every year is being celebrated as World Food Day. This is really like to increase awareness and to put actions forward to really prioritize actions that will contribute to food security all over. There is the need for everyone to have access and to have available food at all times.
So, Madam Kamara, that woman sitting in Kailang, let me say the villages in Kailang, they'll be wondering, you know, in Sierra Leone, according to even WFP's reports, another report when we talk about the hunger index, it shows that we have pervasive hunger in Sierra Leone. Food insecurity in this country is so much high, and we are celebrating World Food Day. Why should we celebrate this day when we are food insecure?
We are really celebrating this day together with other developmental partners and government institutions and other stakeholders to increase awareness. This is an awareness raising process that the issues of food should be a priority. The issues of food within Sierra Leone and all over the world should be issues of priorities, calling on board all other stakeholders, calling on board all government ministries, because with food issues of inequality exist, issues of so many things even affecting the development of a nation will exist. So the activity or the celebration of the World Food Day is an increased awareness raising process so that everybody will come on board so that we have enough food, not only food, but nutritious and safe food. It is not only an issue of wherever like government ministries. It is even an issue of community level action. Even at urban settings, we need people to come on board. We need people to diversify production. We need people to expand production so that food could be easily accessed and food would be available. So the process of celebrating the World Food Day is an awareness raising activity.
So, Madam Kama, you are mentioning awareness raising, and for decades we have been celebrating this day in line with other international organizations and other countries in the world, but yet we are still food insecure. So where are we going wrong? You understand? Because WFP is a specialized agency with professionals in dealing with food. So where are we going wrong?
Well, the celebration do not only stop at awareness raising. When we talk of WFP, right, WFP is even working towards achieving zero hunger by 2030. That is one of the Sustainable Development Goals, and we were even working with SDG 17, which is partnership. We are coming together. We should come together to really address these issues. And when you look at WFP's activities, we are working at community level, but alongside government ministries to really address. It is not just an issue of talking, because when we talk of awareness raising, we do the talking, but we go to the community level where we have our farms, where we have our people, so that they will really go into extensive and expand production.
Madam Kamal,
yes.
WFP is celebrating at a time, you are observing this year's World Food Program as at a time when many people do not have access to food, not only in Sierra Leone, we're talking about the world. Do you think WFP has done enough to provide food or to create ways where people can access food across? Because this is a right. People have the right to access food, but in some places, as we speak, you have people who are going without food. Do you think WFP has done enough?
Maybe I will want to say it is not an issue of has WFP done enough. It's an issue of concerted effort.
Okay.
It's an issue of a coordinated role. Everybody, including you, has a role on the issue of making food availability a priority, right? On the side of WFP, we are coordinating with development partners. We are coordinating with government ministries. As I'm talking to you, we are working with 140 farmer-based organizations in 7 districts that are really engaged on food production, basically rice and even vegetables. Yeah, even within the past agricultural season, our local farmers, our smallholder farmers, working with 27 aggregators with over 1,000 smallholder farmers, they were able to produce high quality rice, locally produced rice, over 1,000 metric tons of rice. Over 1,000 metric tons of rice. So with over 1,000 metric tons of rice, it supports the homegrown school feeding. So the issue of food access is also being encouraged, because the food in the schools also help to attract the school kids to the school. It also help retention, and even with the farmers being engaged in inland valley swamp, IVS rice production, vegetable production, it increased access.
Okay.
It also multiply even their income. It improved their livelihood. It enhanced equality, even at community and household level.
Okay.
So WFP is not doing it alone. WFP is working with all related partners and even community people.
Okay, so normally you choose places where you do your celebration. I think last year or a year ago you celebrated, was it in Kabbalah or so? So where are we this year? Where is the WFP in this year's World Food Day celebration?
WFP is presently in Kailaun.
Okay.
The World Food Day is being celebrated in Kailaun. It is a rotational process. Every year, a particular district is being chosen or being selected for the celebration of the World Food Day. And all agencies related to agricultural activities, all agencies related to food systems transformation are in Kailaun. As I'm talking to you, everybody any agency that is related to food security issues is in Kaila
exception of Madam Kamara.
Yes, but my representative is there.
Okay.
My country.
All right, thank you very much. Continue to stay with us. The program is Good Morning Sierra Leone, and she is Adama Kamara, and she is the program policy officer of the World Food Program. Well, we continue with the program, and now we go to something that has to do with youth, and this has to do with the Youth for Human Rights Freetown chapter, which was founded in 2020, has been teaching the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to pupils in schools, and the youth seminars has been hosted in order to have positive dialogue with youth on the fight against human rights education in the country. The organization advocates for human rights, education, drugs, and child rights. To further the discussion this morning, we have been joined in the studios by the CEO and President of Youth for Human Rights Freetown Chapter, Ambassador Mohammed Bari. Good morning, Ambassador. Welcome to the program.
Good morning once more. Thanks for having me.
So, your organization has existed for the past 4 years, or 4 years now since you were created. How far have you gone in making sure you achieved your aims and objectives of this organization?
Wow. Since 2020, when I established this organization, because of the manner in which I see young people misunderstood the concept of human rights. So I thought if it's a young person, that I need to step in to make sure that I bring this education to my people in Sierra Leone. So since 2020, when I established the organization, we have made a landmark achievement in Sierra Leone, because we have went to schools across Freetown, over 150 schools across Freetown, and bringing this human rights education people. We do not only go to schools talk about human rights as an organization, we also go there and give them the Universal Declaration of Human Rights booklets, which contain the 30 basic human rights book articles, which they need to know, free of charge, without paying, you understand? So we as young people, we are doing this, as we just earlier, we did not all go to schools as well, we also engage community stakeholders, making sure that they understand what an human right. Understand? Over the years, we have been doing this in different communities across Sierra Leone.
Okay, so you've been to schools, and how far have you gone in making sure you change the mindset of people? Because, as you rightly said, people have we always have different perception when it comes to the issue of human rights. And you have taken upon yourself to form an organization that will go to the schools. It's always good to catch them young.
Yeah, sure.
Because when you get them right from the schools, they, in few years they will become the people sitting in the places we are sitting today. So if you get it right with them in the schools, you definitely get it right at the top. But how far have you gone in making sure even institutions, not only the schools, because even if you get it right in the schools or with the kids, if it's not right up there, then there's a problem.
Yeah, sure, definitely. So that's why we normally go to school and talk about human rights. We also make sure that we teach them in classroom.
No, we are not talking about the schools anymore. We are talking about institutions, because you have these kids, you've oriented them that, you know what, this is what human rights is all about, this is what you should do, and this is what you should not do if you want to maintain human rights in your society. But you also have institutions which these kids will be going to. After school, they will definitely go to higher institutions, not only the colleges, but they will go to offices where they work. I'm talking about how far you've gone in engaging institutions.
Yeah, that's why we are not working alone. We are partners with the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone. We're working hand in hand with the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone. And we are also working with an international NGO, which always stay in the United States of America, which are used for Human Rights International.
So, Mohammed, your opening statement, you said that you are working because you discovered that people are misunderstanding the term human rights. I want you to put it into context. How are young people, or how are people in Sierra Leone misunderstanding human rights itself?
You understand? What I mean here is young people misunderstand the concept of human rights. You understand? If I can recall, in 2020, and the Augustine resolution, I put in that way, and I see a lot of young people, my colleague people, young people, Understand? Try to misunderstand what is their right and what is their right. Where you are citizen of this country, whenever there's a time for elections, that is all the time you have to go to the ballot box and vote and get the government of the day. The right you have is to go to the ballot box and go and do your registrations. You don't have the right to go out on the street and violently against the state. You understand? So that's why I thought it's young people must not so what you know their right and what you right. There are so many channels to communicate to government. As I'm speaking to you right now, I'm speaking to government in so many channels, not in violence way, because I understand my right. So that's why we also go to the young people, especially the vulnerable people down the slum community, the youth, talk to them. See, I speak to you, speaking to you right now. I have the chance to talk to President Biu. I have the chance to talk to Minister Benkefala. Some of these people I have the chance to talk to them, but not in violence way. So this is not the channel to communicate some of the people. You have to make sure that you comport yourself as young people, understand the content of in which you have to pass your message into.
So, Mohammed, you said you have been teaching the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to pupils in school, a very, very important component. So, how thorough is this teaching of yours? Teaching about this Universal Declaration of Human Rights to pupils in school. How thorough has it been?
Well, it has been effective and let me say I don't know how to put it this way, but it has been effective in some of the schools we have been going to, and we have feedback because we did not all the way to schools. We have youth ambassadors that represent us in some of these schools. You understand? Which are these people we communicate to whenever we have to go to the schools and do another event here. These are young people who represent as youth ambassadors representing their schools for us. Understand? So that's how we have been doing this. We also emphasize on Article 26, which is the right to education. That's our key message when we go to schools, Article 26. For the elderly people or the young youth down this norm, we emphasize on Article 29, which is responsibility, because all of these rights carry responsibility. So that's what we have been doing over the years. We not only advocate on human rights education, we also emphasize on peace and non-violence campaign right across Sierra Leone, during election and after election. That's what we have been doing over the years as a youth organization. We also emphasize on drugs because we are also advocating on drugs because it's containing 13 drugs. Each drugs have another element, other factors, because under this we have the synthetic drugs. Under the synthetic drugs we have the kush. We find kush under the synthetic drugs. We also advocate on the way to happiness, which contain all the 15 rights which you need to teach young people, the kids, what they need to know. You understand? These are all projects that we work under my organizations as young people in Sierra Leone. We go to school, we give this booklet to each kids in school. Make sure that they take it home and study them for them to be a guide when they get up there.
So what I know, you do not just bring up this organization just in vacuum. There must be a goal, something that you and your team you want to achieve. What is this thing that you want to achieve?
We want to see Sierra Leone in a country where young people, understand, have a focused mind. You know, their emotional intelligence is something that is very unique, that is very productive at the end of the day, and they become a change ambassadors in the future, where they be focused more on how to build themselves, how to capacitate themselves. You know, admiring some of these people they see in screen, in televisions, in newspapers, you know, for them to become the change makers, you understand? Okay. That's why we make sure that we want to pass the message to young people.
Okay, Mr. Quickly, Mr. Barry, before we go, you also have this issue. I'm just going through your these handouts, and you also have, is it 25? You have food and
shelter for
right to food and shelter. And today we are talking about World Food Day. If you look, women and girls are the most vulnerable across the world. And even if we are talking about food, sometimes these are the people who go to bed without food. Do you also teach these people about their right to food and how to make sure they also contribute in making sure food is available in their community, as Madam Kamara was saying?
Yeah, that's why, as I was hearing my senior learning colleague emphasize on food, because today is World Food Day, And whenever we went to somebody's community, because each of these articles, each of these rights will emphasize and analyze on each one of them. Like for the food, the rights of food is Article 25. We also, especially our stakeholders in the community, because when I grew up in the village, I made to understand my father is a farmer, and he always makes sure that he preserve a farmland where we can cultivate food for ourselves, you understand, at the end of the season. So we also tell our people in the community, you know, say, mom and dad, all of you have come to the city. Now the city are being congested, and the farmland is there empty. Nobody is doing agriculture, and you are here saying the country is very difficult. If you are here doing your little farming and support your children in the city, things will be very, very nice. Because for me, what I understood the situation of this country for now, especially in food, people have killed the space of harvesting in agriculture. Because you know why? You know, the facility is not there for them, because when I have a one-on-one dialogue with them, they say they don't have the financial support, they don't have the seed. Government needs to make sure that provides seed for community people, for them to have the passion to invest in agriculture.
Thank you very
much. But if they don't have
Mr.
the facility, how they can go into the agriculture?
Thank you very much, Mr. Barry, but I have a contrary view to that, because we have a vast land in the region. Before now, our people were not asking for money from government to do farming, but yet they were doing farming. Yes, government is doing their bit, but what are we doing as individuals to make sure we get food on our table? Thank you very much. The program is Good Morning Sierra Leone, and we now go for a short commercial break. When we come back, the program continues.
Did you have this?
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done, and its preparation, it is not difficult at all. Nkulenu palm soup base, it's easily done with no difficulties. Just take few ladles and your soup is done. And its flavor, it's amazing. This is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. And this is Nkulenu's Ghana's original spiced palm soup base. Iron fruit and turkey berries are naturally added.
Also available Brown Gold natural cocoa powder, Sunny Gold brown sugar, meat fufu flour, shito, pisa and moringa. All available at Nyami Ado Enterprise, 1 Lower Waterloo Street, Freetown.
Nkulenu palm soup base.
Ghanaian original taste.
Welcome back to the program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. But before we further, let's now join Captain O'Connor, who is at Ferry Junction, to give us a traffic update.
Tricycles. This morning, Today's traffic update takes us to the bustling Ferry Junction intersection in the east end of Freetown. As usual, this major thoroughfare is experiencing significant traffic congestion during the morning peak hours. The intersection where Main Bible Road and Black Hole Road converge is seeing a heavy flow of vehicles, including cars, motorcycles and tricycles. This morning, motorists are facing delays as they navigate through the intersection. Despite efforts to improve infrastructure and promote public transportation, the junction's capacity may not be sufficient to handle the increasing volume of traffic. Pedestrians also face challenges due to the lack of well-marked crossing and high volume of vehicles. Therefore, motorists should exercise caution and patience while traveling through Ferry Junction.
Thank you very much, Captain O'Connor, for that traffic update at Ferry Junction. But we still have Adama Kamaya from WFP, who is working with us in the studio to talk about today's World Food Program celebration. which will occur in Kailang district. So, Madam Kama, I believe before selecting any district to celebrate, there are parameters that WFP and other partners look at. So, some people always wonder why they choose certain district at some point in time. So, what are some of the parameters that you look at before choosing a district to celebrate the day itself in Sierra Leone?
Well, really selecting a district for celebration is normally like it's a government-led activity, yeah. But as we all know, Kailang is a food basket. Kailang is also one of the high-producing food hub. So I'm not sure it will not be a mistake to really celebrate the World Food Day in Kailang, because there is a high production of food, not only rice, even vegetables and other crops from Kailang district. And for the other years, it has been celebrated in other districts. So it is a rotational process. So,
Madam Adama, when you do this celebration, during this celebration, maybe international partners, maybe in WFP, there are certain things that you look out for, aside of the speeches. What are those things you look out for?
Well, normally, what we do, besides the awareness raising, farmers from all over the country do come. They come along with produce. It's an issue of interconnection. It's an issue of relating with other farmers. You meet with them. It's an issue of creating connectivity. You know, I may be a farmer, maybe all the way from Kenema district, and I may see the produce. I may be producing pepper, but when I see the pepper being produced, maybe from Kabala, Magburka, there will be that sort of connection. You know, we encourage connectivity. We encourage them to talk to each other. It's an ideas sharing process. It's an information sharing process. You know, so besides the speeches, besides the talking, they also showcase the produce from those areas. When you go to those celebration, World Food Celebration, you see remarkable food stuff. You see food stuff that is being produced in Sierra Leone, but maybe we are not even aware that such a huge scale of production is being derived from this particular district or chiefdom. But when you go to those areas, those are the places where even government institutions or development partners are able they are able to identify prospective food transformers, because we are even working with youths. The way they even bring about themselves, the way they showcase their produce, you know, there then comes the need for connectivity and even for increased support to those areas.
So, Madam Kama, that's a concern if we are only opportune to see some of the food stuff produced in our country at such celebration, and when you go about your normal business in our markets, we don't find them, then it's a concern.
It's a concern, really, because when it comes to issues of road at farm gate level, it is also challenging. When you go to areas like the Falaba district, you go to area like Bont district, all over Cambia, Tonkolili, you see food stuff, but the issue of market is also a concern. You go to, let's say, like Falaba district, when you look at the road, besides the long terrain, the road is also difficult, you know. But some of, like WFP, we go where others cannot go. However remote an area is, we go to extreme vulnerable chiefdoms. So besides the World Food Day celebration, we are also seeing the food being produced by smallholder farmers. As I was telling you, WFP supported farmers, and we produce 1,050 metric tons of locally processed rice.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Thank you very much.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Celebrate World Food Day.
Thank you.
Today, the program is Good Morning Sierra Leone, and Emmanuel will now go to another issue that has been on the social media. Yes, all over the place. This has been discussed. And we have two gentlemen in the studio this morning to discuss this, and it could be recalled that the National Grand Coalition has suspended Jasmed Fode Mami Suma, the party's acting national chairman and leader, According to a letter signed by the NGC's National Secretary General, the National Executive Committee of the NGC took the action for the immediate suspension of Jasmine Suma. The latter stated that Mr. Suma, who has been engaging in anti-party activities and has been bringing the party into disrepute and public ridicule. In response, Mr. Jasmine Suma has refuted claims of suspension, referring to it as unconstitutional and illegitimate. Meanwhile, the NGC party has concluded a press briefing to address rumors surrounding the suspension of the previous acting chairman, Jasmine Suma, and the dissolution of the alliance between the party and the Sierra Leone People's Party. Well, to discuss further on this morning, we have been joined by Wilfred Wise. He is the National PRO of NGC. And also we have Bokar Mara, Regional Youth Leader Northeast. Former Regional Youth Leader Northeast. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
So let me start with you, Mr. Wise. You know, where are we? Where is the NGC? Mr. Suma, the chairman, has been suspended. Mr. Suma, the chairman, has not been suspended. It is an illegitimate decision, an unconstitutional decision, according to Mr. Jasmine Suma. So where is the NGC as we speak?
Well, it's no secret that we're having problem. It's an open secret, because what is happening of recent will tell you that things are not normal in the political party. And me sitting here in the capacity of the public relations officer is based on my track record. That's why people said yes, he deserves the job to do it. So I'm saying in here that I don't see any anti-party activity in the statement that Jasmine Mami Suma said on TV and on AYV. What Jasmine Mami Suma said, he said we will review the alliance. Things are difficult in the country. You understand? Besides, it is just too disheartening to see fellow NGC in here discussing issue that we should settle in-house. That's why, as the public relations officer, I decided not to take any interview since the saga happened. I was in the meeting, but I believe as an NGC, this was not what we stand for. We came in there seeing all what this other political party are doing. We as a party come together, not based on finances, not based on some certain handout. It's just to change the political narrative in this country.
So as things are going now, do you think the NGC has succeeded in changing the narrative in the country? Because people were actually looking up to you as the third force to change the story in Sierra Leone, but it looked like it's what we are seeing now is like what your leader said before now, your former leader, that SLPP and APC are Alusai and Alassane. You have become the Beshe of these people, don't you think so?
No, what I want you to actually go into the nitty-gritty of the suspension or the so-called suspension of Jasmine Suma.
We are going there, but
the way things are going, to be realistic in here, it's not going fine. To be honest, I have to be very.
So do you agree that you have become the Beshi?
No, well, it depends on how you look at it. But in any corporate world, you must have some dispute.
Okay.
That makes the the corporate system at some point like it's working, because we disagree to agree.
Okay.
I have been appealing since this thing happened. I have been appealing to the general membership that we can still go back to the drawing board and settle our differences, knowing what Sierra Leone is facing now.
So now let's look at this suspension. Why do you think Mr. Suma was suspended if, according to you, what he said was right?
Well, what happened in here, you have some certain folks within the political party that want we to look like we're in an alliance. What Jasmine Mami Suma said, technically, we are not in alliance. But theory, we are in an alliance because there is a document signed. Because it should be a mutual benefit when it comes to an alliance.
So in other words, you are not getting anything.
No, well, what I'm saying in here, I just want you to know that technically, if you look at it, they said Yumkela have been given a job, but Yumkela is not an NGC now. Most of the people that were appointed, they were not household name in NGC. I don't know their status that much, but they were not household name like when you will sit down to say, hey, the Jesmet Mamisuma is an NGC. You understand me? The Wilfred Wise is an NGC. We haven't seen short names. So we just think that something have happened, and this thing emanated from a long time because the process we are not following. When you watch this, we start having problems since the inception of an alliance in our party.
But
if you watch from Dennis Bright, no, we agreed on it, but it's because you must have diverse opinion in that particular path. And if you watch two years or more or now, you see that the NGC is always on the social or mainstream or traditional media for the wrong reason.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll come back to you. Now we go to you, Mr. Mara, former regional youth leader Northeast of the NGC. Why do you think Mr. Jesmet Suma should not be your chairman? Or first of all, are you still in alliance with the SLPP?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sierra Leoneans, for having me, and thank you, SLBC. Of course, it is clear that we are in alliance because as far as documents are concerned, we are in alliance, and the agreement of the alliance is still there. It is still visible, and of course in the part of the ruling government, they have been complying with the alliance as far as we are concerned as a party. And in the issue of the suspension, I believe it is clear, it is legitimate, it is constitutional, because that is what our constitution provides. In section 16, subsection 3 and paragraph F, gives the National Executive Committee the power to institute disciplinary measures against any member who is found or accused of misconduct. And that is what exactly they did on October 5th. They exercised their constitutional power. And let's take into consideration that the suspension of Mr. Jesmet Suma was not only limited to the alliance, because getting from my PRO here, Wilfred Wise, focusing his attention on the alliance, that was not the only problem. If he says the alliance is not working, to me is a complete irony, because he, Wilfred Wise, sitting here, he is on record that he was very much happy with the alliance, on to a point that I believe because he has not yet benefited from the alliance, that is why he is aggrieved, he is angry, and I can very much understand with that. And the same with Jesmet Suma. If they are talking against the alliance, of course he is a signatory to the alliance. So if he is going against the alliance, I believe it is because he has not yet benefited from the alliance. And he is on record that he has reached out on so many times, so many occasions, at State House, just to get an appointment, because that did not materialize. That is why he's on the rampage, talking against the alliance, denouncing the alliance. But let me make this clear to Sierra Leoneans and to SLBC. As a party, we have benefited from the alliance in terms of employment and other sectors. I can name 2 people that has benefited so far, even though we have more, because he just limited the thing to himself and Jesmet, and both of them are not just NGC. NGC is a political party of over how many thousands of Sierra Leoneans.
So who are those people?
Fine. The Deputy Minister of Environment, Honorable Mimi Stevens, is an NGC, she's an NGC member. Then Engineer Andrew Kiley, the chairman for the EDSA, board chairman for EDSA, his appointment just...
Okay. Mr. Mara, I know you've mentioned Engineer Andrew Kiley, but Mr. Wise, this is an indictment that it is because you've not benefited from the alliance. So this is an indictment that it is because you've not benefited, and that's why you guys want to move away from the alliance. Is that true?
With no disrespectfulness to my brother here in NGC, as I said, I don't want we to be washing our dirty linen outside. That's the reason why you see, as the public relations officer, given the mandate to speak on and behalf of the party, I stay calm just to observe the situation, appeal to a member. But what Mr. Mara is saying here is not right. Mr. Andrew Kiley was appointed based on his expertise. You and I know that Andrew Kiley have worked with the Anesbai Koroma whilst he was an SLPP. So working for the administration, it's not account of the alliance.
No, let's leave them out.
No, I just want to make that clear now.
You have not
That's just a mere allegation that my brother is saying against me. This man was not even at the NEC meeting. He was given
the question.
No, can I land, please? I've given him time. We have to clarify some certain things.
Yes.
Mr. Mara seated here is not a NEC member, in fact. With no disrespect, is a member that have worked hard for the political party. With the decision or the set decision they have taken, will that benefit the NGC? Gravitating towards development or towards presidency, will this actually make way or break way? Because there is a big division within the political party now. As I'm speaking to you, the UK High have suspended all fund to the party based on the quagmire we had today. So as a party, everybody knows that Jesmet Suma is very passionate about this political party. I made an appeal during that moment to say, gentlemen, I don't think this is right. So if we are coming in here now to wash our dirty linen, and people knowing how these two political parties are misbehaving in this country, people are watching us. Will you think people will trust me in short trajectory?
Mr. Wise.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Maraya quoted sections in the Constitution that says that they have the right, the Executive Committee has the right to suspend any member that they found wanting of anti-party activity. But when you listen to Jesmet said it is illegitimate and unconstitutional.
I am not in here to defend Jesmet. I am here to save the soul of the National Grand Coalition that have known my only and solely political party. What I'm saying in here, I don't think we need all that suspension or no suspension. I was in the hall. As I said initially, some certain things we don't wash them outside it. You understand me? First of all, the Constitution also tells you that we should have secret ballot. That was not observed at that material time. Secret ballot on any voting system. That was the Constitution.
So was before its suspension, were there pronouncements for vote for people that should be or against, for or against?
Well, actually, that was all done in there. But we have to actually, we need to follow the Constitution. The Constitution, secret ballot should be secret ballot.
So as far as you're concerned, the process was illegal?
Well, the process in that particular frame was not in accordance to the Constitution.
Now, Mr. Maya, you are in support of the alliance, and you guys have actually asked Mr. Suma to stay out of your party for now. Don't you think with this decision, the future for the NGC is doomed?
Of course, the decision.
Because by the time we get to 2028, when let's say 2027, when you should be preparing for elections, and where people are expecting you to send a very strong candidate, the SLPP with which you are in alliance with might have infiltrated your areas because you already have a mind.
Okay. Of course, the NGC is still intact, to make that clear to Sierra Leoneans, and we are putting things in place to ensure the next election we contest. Of course, but that will be a decision of the party. It is not going to be a one-man decision. Now to the alliance, which you are talking about specifically. I was expecting my brother here to lay the premise for Sierra Leoneans to understand as to what brought about the suspension of Mr. Jesmet Suma and also and every other thing. But it seems that he's dodging the questions, going to things that are actually not
what Mr. Wise said there. He said it is as a result of the statement Jesmet Suma made.
Earlier on, I made it very much clear that Mr. Jesmet Suma was not suspended only on the basis of the alliance. When, based on our press release a few days ago, the acting national chairman and leader, currently Mr. Alhaji Amadou Sharif, made it clear in the press release, giving reports to media houses, about what brings about the suspension, the outcome of the National Executive Committee meeting. And he stated 3 points which the person that moved the motion gave that when the National Executive Committee looked into.
So what are these points?
One of the points that breach of the constitution, the party constitution.
How did he breach it?
Fine. He suspended 2 senior members of the party without following due procedure. Then secondly, he made an increment, 100% increment of the party subscription fee without taking the matter to the National Executive Committee, which has the mandate to authorize him, and he did that on his own. So he was suspended on those bases. Then also the anti-party activity, going to radio and other social media platforms, making all sorts of claims against the party and the alliance, which puts our party into public ridicule, and also the disrepute amongst party members, all caused by Mr. Jesme Suma. And those issues, which the person that moved the motion stated, they were carefully looked into by the National Executive Committee members, which he is part of, and the motion was moved, and also Mr. Jesme, the then acting chairman and leader, requested for a vote, and he endorsed the voting, that the voting should go on.
Ask this guy if he was there.
Was that true or not? Just let's be sincere.
Were you part of the meeting?
I was not part of the meeting, but I was around the party office.
Mr. Wise, Mr. Wise, Mr.
And it is on record.
I'm coming. Mr. Wise Mr. Mara just said, he said that the party suspended Jesme on 3 bases. One is that for suspending other members, increment of the party's subscription, and also anti-party activities.
Okay.
Is that so?
Okay, let me lay the premise of this. Let me say the allegation this guy, Mr. Mara, used against Jesme, the Jesme I know, that went through the backside or the back door of him being employed because it doesn't materialize. That's why he's here and there saying things against the alliance. No. Okay, coming to the as he said, the increment of the party subscription card. Just imagine a member of the NGC paid 5,000 leons a month on a subscription, knowing that NGC is really struggling with the finance. We had a national executive officers meeting that we agreed that at least High Wilfred seated in here should have not paid that. But because of the interest of the party, I paid 1,250,000 as national officer. I have something else to do with the money, but also I have to prioritize the institution I am representing for better leadership, because without money it will be difficult for we to navigate. So that money that Jesme asked for was not money for his pocket. So it was money.
Did that decision has the blessing of the executive committee?
No, to be honest in here, what I was saying here, that money was not used for his personal benefits. All of us agree, and we started paying. Imara paid that money.
No, the basis that they are laying, they are not saying what he used the money for, but they are now saying because of the increments, and that the increment, the decision, he did it unilaterally.
Sure.
You understand? Without the blessing of the executive committee. Is that so?
What I'm saying in here now, actually, it consulted with the national officers. It consulted with us. I know you should have gone through there, but you have some certain things that need urgent address, because coming in to solve some certain problem. We have some lacunas, we have some certain problems there that are happening that, based on the urgency, consultation also will be very difficult on doing it.
So let's talk about the 2 officers that he suspended. They said the allegation also is that he suspended those 2 officers without the blessing of the executive committee.
No, my brother. Those 2 members were using NGC logo on promoting other things. As a chairman and leader of the organization, at a particular time using our logo, promoting other things that doesn't material, writing a letter to the public without the consent of the administration. So that's what's led to all that.
Okay, quickly, before we go to our newspaper review, this is a question for both of you. Mr. Mara, Don't you think it is because you want to continue with this marriage with the SLPP, and that few of you guys are benefiting from it? That's why you don't want Mr. Suma in the party. And is it because Mr. Suma is against this marriage? He think that the NGC is not benefiting from this relationship between the NGC and the SLPP. That's why you guys want him out. And to you, Mr. Wise, don't you think it is because you have not benefited? You think that you have not gained anything from this alliance? That's why you think Mr. Suma, and for those of you who are supporting him, should remain the chairperson, and because he does not want the alliance anymore, because you guys are not benefiting as alleged by one of your members. So let me start with you.
Of course, the party is benefiting, definitely. He made mention of Engineer Andrew Kiley. He is still a member of NGC. You can ask him to confirm.
Is it because of that benefit that you want to continue?
That is one. Then secondly, let's make this clarification, at least for Sierra Leoneans to understand the issue properly. Yeah. The general membership is not against opting out of the alliance.
Okay.
What the general membership is against is the procedure which Mr. Jesmed and co does not want to follow.
So from what
before going into the alliance, we took the matter to the National Executive Committee, which by then I was a NEC member. I was part of that decision. Then we discussed on it, agreed, and sent the matter to the National Delegate Conference, which is the highest decision-making body of the party for ratification. So if they gave us the legal mandate to go into an alliance, so if we want to opt from the alliance again, we should follow the same process. Okay. And they did not want to do that. Follow those procedures. That is where the problem is.
So are you ready to opt out of the alliance?
That is a decision to make by NEC and the National Delegates Conference.
Are you in any way discussing opting out?
If they take the matter to the National Executive Committee and NDC, we definitely will discuss about it, and you know, if we vote on it. And
Mr. White, quickly.
What I'm saying in here, let me see.
Is it because you are not benefiting?
This man knows who I am. He knows that all this allegation is making is just to satisfy himself and co. But I've never asked for job anywhere, and I believe if it is an alliance, it's a mutual benefit. That is not something NGC should beg for, because it was part of the agreement.
Have you been begging? Have you guys been begging?
No, this is what I'm saying. He knows me better.
Okay.
He knows Jesmed Suma better. But sometimes, you know, politics do have different way of interpreting it. What we are saying in here, if this is not a witch hunt, we are having a mini convention, just December. If you know you are not satisfied with how Jesmed is doing, no, December is not far. You can go there and remove him from the position legitimately. But why now? Why can't you just wait for now? Can you wait? Can I? This man, Mr. Mara seated here.
Mr. Mara, please.
Let's land.
Mr. Mara seated here. I want you as a media outlet to know that Mr. Mara was not in there. Mr. Mara is not part of the NEC. I, as the public relations officer sitting here, you should be doing your background check of people who comes here and say, because I have the sole responsibility of speaking and on behalf of the political
party. He is a member of the party.
He is a member of the party. But what I'm saying, he is not au fait with what happened that day in that meeting. Ask him if he was. Seriously. No, ask this guy if he was at that meeting.
I've asked him.
He was not. He was shifted. It was. You will see.
The report was out. It was clear. And I'm here on the mandate.
Mara, let's get this thing very serious.
I'm not just here because I want to be here. Now I don't want to make things clear for him.
Mara, let's let me tell you, Mara. Speaking in here, you will know that now, with this way that we are trending, that the party is literally dividing based on some decision that are not right. 2028 is very closer. Why can't we sit as family and settle this matter indoors?
This is a question for me.
So why do you think if Jesmed Suma's suspension has an undertone? Because just to say people are not happy in here with the alliance, and this man is saying Mr. Kiley have been given a job. Mr. Kiley was given that job based on his expertise, not based on the alliance.
Okay. I don't want to respond quickly. It's just few seconds.
Thank you very much. We'll give you another time for you to respond.
let's go over. Yes, thank you very much, and Mr. Ma and Mr. Wise will continue to stay with us. We'll give you another time to talk, but we'll go over to review our local tabloids. And the first one I have here is Concord Times newspaper, and it says, wives of former president yearn for recognition support. Moral guarantors to facilitate meeting between APC government. Senior Salon journalist attends 6th World Media Summit on Artificial Intelligence Media Transformation in China. That is the photo of Abubakar Kago. Solidaridad EU monitor cashew farms in Sierra Leone.
All right, for my first paper with me this morning is the Aoko newspaper, and it has so many stories on its front page. But the first one here is Islamic Development Bank doles out over $3 billion with Salon getting 70.32 million euro for socio-economic development. And another story, APC disowns rowdy supporters as 20 arrested in Freetown protest. I think you see the picture of the office of the main opposition party, the All People's Congress. And you also have another story, meeting held with Deputy Minister 1, Professor Dr. Charles Senesi of the Ministry of Health and the Health Union Executive at U Building. The final story on the front page of the Aoko is failed 2023 coup worsens economic challenges. This is according to the World Bank. They are quoting the World Bank that the failed 2023 coup worsens the economic challenges in the country. And these stories plus more, including sports, you find in the Aoko newspaper.
The next one I have here is Global Times newspaper, and it says justice for all. Acting Chief Justice assures Sierra Leoneans. The photo of the acting Chief Justice. The next one is Dr. Tunde Taylor working for SLPP victory in 2023. Mamolo Chiefdom, Abanga Group pays surface rent. And Minister Chinoba urges proactive disclosure of public information. The photo of the minister there. Police testifies in murder case. These and other stories are in the Global Times newspaper.
Okay, for my next take here is the AYV newspaper, and so many stories in the front page of the AYV newspaper. The first one is, we must work together to tell the true story of Sierra Leone Diamonds. AI Cook, Chief Executive Officer of the Bars Group, tells Sierra Leoneans. And also you have other stories of, as rumored yesterday, APC debunks reports of parties clash with police at APC party headquarters. You have the photo of the head office of the All People's Congress. And another story, Minister Ba urged proactive disclosure of public information. The final story on the front page of the AYV newspaper is Sierra Leone strengthened commitment to refugee rights protection. These stories plus more, including both local and international sports, you find in AYV newspaper.
The next one I have here is the Standard Times newspaper, and it says the First Airlines overseas travel scam, accused on bail. This is the photo of Magistrate Santiki Bangura. And the other one is senior journalist attends 6th World Media Summit in China. The photo of Abubakar, the journalist. This and other story are in the Standard Times newspaper.
My next take is the African 24, and it opens with a bad headline story: MCC's money not for politicians. And you see the picture of the deputy leader of the opposition, Honorable Daniel Koroma, and MPs request 84 3-point implemented. You also have another story of Honorable Ibrahim Bari, and another one, QCell successful 4G upgrade enhancing connectivity across Sierra Leone. And also the final story on the front page of the Africa 24 is to invest in fishing aquaculture, saloon, and Egypt's like deal. These stories plus more, including local and international sports you find in the African 24.
Now the next one here is New Vision newspaper, and it says Standards Bureau commemorates World Standards Day. The other one, it says NACIT launches Customer Service Suite. Fucell successful 4G upgrading, enhancing connectivity across Sierra Leone. And Ambassador Cisse intensifies amnesty sensitization. These and many stories are in the New Vision newspaper.
And my final take for today's newspaper review is the Awareness Times newspaper. And Awareness Times newspaper opens with a banner headline story over issue of Mami course launched in defense of him. Social media reacts to Dr. David Senge. And also HE Ambassador Aissatou Aminata Bundu continues to receive accolades, this time from UN Habitat. These stories plus more, including Sierra Leone marks anniversary of ambitious Fit Salon program, and also the story of Leo Stars defeating the Elephants of Ivory Coast yesterday in the AFCON qualifiers. You find all in the Awareness Times newspaper, including your international sport for those of you who are interested in Thomas Tuchel being appointed as the head coach of England. You also find that story in the Awareness Times newspaper.
And my final one here is Premier News newspaper, and it's a life-changing surgery saves a boy's sight. UNICEF UNFPA launch global program to end child marriage. This time is now to act. The time is now to act, Sierra Leone delegation tells UN. Also in this issue, well, these stories and more are lined up in the Premier News newspaper. Well, viewers, that is all we have for the review of this edition of a local tabloids headline. And also note that these particular headlines that we just read, they do not reflect the views of the SLBC, but are local tabloids. Well, we still have the two gentlemen in the studio with us from NGC. Well, the time is not our friend and we want to go. So we, for Mr. Wise, what is left? What is next?
Yeah, as the public relations officer, I think we should go back to the drawing board and see how we can solve our in-house problem. Because as I've said initially, seeing how our two elder brothers are doing in the political arena, we know that the country needs a serious-minded alternative. So I am pleased kindly for NGC to come back to the drawing board and see how we can able to settle it for the interest of the Sierra Leone.
Mr. Mara, do you think you go back to the drawing board as your PRO is saying?
Definitely, because what is happening is these are internal issues that happens in any political party. Of course, that's why we are taking these actions as a party, because we want to protect our constitution, and therefore we want Mr. Jesme to make an appeal to follow the procedure. Going on media, talking all sorts of words will not solve or help the situation, but following the procedure, the process. I just want to tell Sierra Leoneans that there is a letter, a report from the disciplinary committee, which he writes to Jesme Suma. They stated it clearly here that the disciplinary committee does not have the authority to overturn the decision of NEC, and also at the time of writing this particular letter, Jesme Suma does not have the right, the authority to consider himself as the chairman and leader of the party.
All right, thank you very much.
So one more, let me just
no.
Now the UKI also have suspended funding here. That tells you that there's division.
All right,
this is an internal issue we are going to
equally
talk about.
I think you had the PPRC to stop this issue, but for us at the SLBC, I think we've done justice by getting you guys in the studios. But this is how we bring the curtain down for today's program. Good morning, Sierra Leone. Many thanks to our guests for making this program a very successful one, and a special thanks to our producer Joseph Stanley for putting this all important program together. From the production house at Broadcasting House, we have been your presenters. I am Frances Bernard, wishing you a wonderful day. Good morning. Sierra Leone returns tomorrow. Good morning.
But before we go, let's take the wise word again, and it says, if you wait too much, you miss opportunities, and opportunity comes but once.
NGC, you should be well with school.
Well, I am Emmanuel Samoa. Good morning, Sierra Leone. It turns tomorrow, same time. Continue to watch the public service broadcaster, the SLBC. Goodbye.
The OKNP landscape is more rich in biodiversity. If you come in the OKNP, you will see different type of animals: chimpanzee, hippo, elephant, Maxwell duiker, red flank duiker, etc., etc., and even the colobus monkey, patas monkey, that are in the park.
We're here this morning with the Wabile Eco Guards, with Dr. Moses, Amara, Emmanuel, and Dr. Rosa, doing the camera trap practicals and also how to do reference video making. We're getting ready for tomorrow, as we're going to go to the field for 10 days to set up camera trap in 3 different locations with 3 teams. We survey the transect and take data, and also do camera traps. For some transect we have 2 cameras, for some transect we have 1, and some transect we just have to resurvey.
Being one of the Wabile staff, we don't learn a lot today, from yesterday to today, concerning this camera trapping. We will go for 10 days.
I'm Eco Guard for Wabile. I have learned a lot. We are here for training how to set up camera trap, also with a transient land. I'm very happy for being Eco Guard for Wabile because I have a lot of experience now how to protect this land, and I know what to do and what not to do in the forest.
Due to the intervention of many projects like ECOD, Wabile, OKKPS, then we have started seeing some changes. So I think the community members also really appreciate the work of those projects that are bringing development in their chiefdoms in the name of protecting this particular conservation area. With also the community members are now ready full force to support those projects to see how best they can achieve their goal, and they are always thanking the donors that are giving their money to those projects to sponsor community members. Wabile also is now working along the Kilimi axis to Kuru. They also are now trying to see how best we can able to know the different type of animals that are in there. For the community members, they never know if we have chimpanzee or another elephant. Due to the effort of the Wabile and the OKKPS and
ACORD, now community members have started knowing that yes, we have elephant, we have chimpanzee, we have leopard. Then this is the good things for the Chiefdom, because this can encourage the tourism to be in the park and to do more investment. This also encourage the community members also to contribute to support the project, because they are seeing their children working with the project. And conservation is good because it creates more job for the youth, it creates more employment, more investment. So it will be good if this will continue for next 10 to 15 years. That can help the conservation area to be protected and the community members also to be feel part of the decision making.
life no go ever sweet without
that thing what we call love. Now that make
No fact na a very good program where any big person can look and enjoy.
Now the kind program we for spend time for watch. Now the kind program we for spend time for sit down for look.
And this program it may around land format and I wonder you save life.
The Love Factor show is about family, love, counseling,
relationship. You say with they build and maintain relationship. This na program also will they counsel you for let you know how for them with your partner, let you know how for settle disputes between you and your heart to heart.
Well, you do your it for yourself.
Join the Love Factor team
every Sunday, 10 p.m.
for help make we all enjoy love and peace.
Are you tired of watching or listening to uninteresting television channels? Then your worries have been addressed, as the SLBC Podium is the answer to your concern.
The SLBC television show, The Podium, is one of the programs you can't afford to miss as a guest or a viewer.
Oh yes, Podium is a show where the mighty and the low will like to sit, because it is a trusted medium to channel your views, concerns and aspirations for Sierra Leone and other happenings around the globe.
Podium is where you get breaking news, because everyone wants to talk to us. If you hear it on Podium, ask no further.
Don't forget to join us every midday from Monday to Friday as we ask the hard questions that you otherwise would have asked to the newsmakers, the movers and shakers of events.
Don't miss the opportunity to be part of Sierra Leone's topmost midday show, The Podium, where the agenda is set for others to follow. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Goodbye.
Where use? You get use?
Yes, I get use.
This is the program where they give you the use where they happen all about the country.
Inside where use, we go take you text, Facebook and WhatsApp message. You complain where you go send us letter to the producer. We dey announce about things them working lost and plenty more.
We are there all about the country. But you self help for being the use that you area.
Where use? The original program where they give you updates.
Where use? You get use?
Yes, I got use.
Sierra Leone is a country on a new path, a new path of development, a new direction. As we awaken to a new sense of patriotism and pride as Sierra Leoneans, the SLBC brings together enlightened senior citizens with much experience to help steer Sierra Leoneans on the path of a defined course of pride and consciousness, a constructive nationalism. So, join the SLBC for the program Constructive Nationalism. Come and let's build Sierra Leone every Saturday at 3 p.m. on the SLBC. Constructive Nationalism on the SLBC.
A reporter, a presenter, and an anchor for the SLBC.
I am Dennis Fraser, reporter and presenter here at the Public Broadcaster, and this is the SLBC.
Hi, I am Kenema, a news anchor, a reporter, radio presenter, and announcer. I find pleasure in keeping you updated, and it's a pleasure.
Hello everyone, I am Stella Frederica Bangura, a reporter and presenter at the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Stay tuned all day, every day. Cheers.
Hi everyone, I am Cecilia Alice Sise, a news anchor, radio and television reporter and presenter, and an announcer. I take interest in stories of human interest, particularly women and girls and minority rights issues. So, keep watching the SLBC, the authentic voice of Sierra Leone.
My name is Daphne Kimamakoli, and I'm a reporter, presenter, producer, and I am a voice at the state broadcaster, the SLBC.
We are the national broadcaster, and I am Sulaiman Baba Toure, a reporter and presenter at the SLBC. Your voice, my voice.
From the commercial department, I am Regina Bangura. You are watching SLBC. Your voice, my voice.
I am Jonathan Turner, a reporter for Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC. As a reporter, I do stories on education, health, politics, and more. Stay glued with SLBC to watch my stories. Your voice, my voice.
Lucian Ganda, producer Weyus, and producer and presenter Christian Editions on TV. This is the SLBC.
I am William Wise, presenter Weyus and also reporter at the SLBC, and this is the SLBC.
I am Salma Tabak, television executive producer. I produce programs on both radio and television. I'm a news anchor, a presenter, an announcer on radio. I enjoy what I do because I serve a public service broadcaster. It's a pleasure to work with the SLBC. I am Tilly Koma, Head of News and Current Affairs Unit, Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Our news hour now covers several segments. We have entertainment, business, weather, sports, ferry schedule, and human interest stories, not forgetting politics. We are doing all that to keep you people posted on what's happening all over the country. Thanks for being with us at SLBC. Keep blue. We are the best.
My name is Samuel Bangura, a camera operator at SLBC. I always capture the scene you see on TV. So stay glued to the public broadcaster.
My name is Abdul Kabia, a news anchor and sports producer at SLBC.
Hello, I am Esther Mahisama, reporter and presenter of SLBC Sport.
I am Princess Gibson, executive producer, radio, gatekeeping, radio content, producer, public square, your program that brings you conversation on topical issues, and also presents our breakfast show, Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Hello, my name is Daphne Zainab Kamara. I am a television producer at the SLBC. I also read the news on television and present the podium on television too. I also announce on radio. Stay tuned to the SLBC.
Providing authentic information has been one of the pillars that SLBC relies on. I am Mohamed Simbiko Omar, a reporter who has developed insatiable appetite for human interest stories. Continue to stay with Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation for your best in broadcast journalism.
As a public broadcaster, we believe in giving out objective stories
and your interest is our concern. I am Moses Sile Conte, a reporter at the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Stay tuned.
We know
It's a long, dark walk under the streets of Nogales, Mexico. These drainage tunnels prevent seasonal rains from flooding the streets above. They also allow human and drug traffickers underground access from Mexico into the United States. It's not the kind of place you want to go for an afternoon stroll, not without a police escort and lots of guns.
¿Cuánto, desde este punto hasta el otro lado, cuánto tiempo es? ¿Cuánto distancia es?
Pues yo creo que casi la pared es la línea.
Okay, so this is pretty amazing here. You got this, so this is, the Comandante is showing us this is another tunnel which has been found and filled in with concrete. Now actually, this line is almost the border into the United States. Like right through here is the United States. We're right up on the border here, underground. So this, you know, they make this tunnel from here and just take drugs into the United States. Have someone go down that side. Now this concrete, you can see, was like poured in by the Border Patrol. The BP there stands for Border Patrol. They recognize the Border Patrol found this. So they poured in concrete from the United States side, just poured it down, and it ended up, you know, filled up here.
And they had to have some cooperation here from the Mexican authorities, I think, because apparently they put a piece of something here to block this concrete when it came down to stop it. So there's coordination between the two countries. Yon Grillo is a freelance journalist working for outlets including the New York Times and Time magazine. He's not staff. Freelance means he proposes stories to media outlets and they either buy his work or not. Or an outlet contacts him to request his coverage on some issue or event. Grillo is one member of a new generation of freelance journalists increasingly filling the void left by mainstream media retreating from news coverage abroad. As corporate media close bureaus and cut staff around the world, it's freelancers who take their place.
Okay, so this is a drainage tunnel from the United States that goes into Mexico. Now the issue is you have in this area one city which crosses the border. However, drug smugglers would use these to smuggle drugs into the United States. It smells pretty funky down here right now. You start getting into this area which is also used for sewage.
Grillo has covered drug trafficking in Mexico for 15 years. But even he didn't fully understand the impact of this border on the lives of people living in its shadow. We'll follow him as he reveals those hidden stories on both sides of this frontier.
Well, you can see a pretty long tunnel going right, which is like right to the United States. So you can see this is something else, and you can see kind of holes in there. You can see this is something else, which will be a way to potentially move drugs.
Photojournalist Patrick Tombola is based in Venice, Italy. He's making photos which he'll try to sell to the New York Times. Like Grillo, Tombola is a dedicated, determined, and tech-savvy professional putting everything on the line to live life his way. His last job with Grillo was this story on El Salvador for Time magazine.
You've got two layers of gates, and you've got a lighted area, and you've got obviously some various sensors and equipment here.
Grillo and Tombola are here to bring us the information we need to make crucial decisions about our lives and the world we live in. It's important to understand who these journalists are and how they work, the places they take us, and the people we meet.
This is some kind of defenses, so you couldn't just drill up from here into the United States.
The United States begins there. En esta línea aquí. Now, I'm in Mexico. This is the line separating the two countries. And now I can step back into the United States. Just like that. Increíble. Increíble. Perdón, la marcha va para allá, ¿no? Sí. ¿No has visto a Gerardo Carrillo?
No.
Mexico is where I started my career, right out of graduate school. It was here that I began working as a freelance foreign correspondent 40 years ago. And I'm looking for Gerardo Carrillo, a friend and colleague from my days of covering Mexico and Central America for United Press International and Newsweek magazine. Like me, Carrillo started out as a freelancer. He later founded the video unit for the Associated Press in Mexico. Today, he's a critical link between freelancers like myself and stories on the ground.
¿Qué tal? ¿Todo bien? Todo perfecto.
Carrillo can cover this march as a one-man band, or what I call a backpack journalist, because of technology. Instead of the larger, more expensive cameras he used to lug around in the 1980s, he now uses gear that is smaller, lighter, and cheaper. And he can do the job himself without assistance. The people behind me, these journalists, this is the grassroots level of journalism in places like Mexico. And I would venture to say in a lot of places around Latin America. You know, they're young, they're idealistic, they're hardworking, they're probably underpaid, underprotected, not well supported by their employers. I don't know how many are freelancers or full-timers. These are the kind of people that get out there. This is where the news, the information begins to flow from people who are doing stuff like this at the very, very bottom level of news and information gathering. It's not just technology that's changed here. So has Mexico. The country has mutated from a generally peaceful place to a violent, lethal place where el narco, or drug traffickers, are engaged in what some call an insurgency. Experts say at least 175,000 people have died in Mexico's decade-old drug war. Another 28,000 have disappeared. Caught in the jaws of this carnage are the journalists who cover it. Today, Mexico is one of the worst countries in the world to be a journalist. More than 100 journalists have been murdered here since the year 2000. 25 others have disappeared and are presumed dead. Of all the journalists killed in Mexico's drug war, none is a foreigner. All are Mexican. Perhaps the narcos understand that killing a foreign journalist might be bad for business. Whenever things get too hot for foreign journalists like me, we can run to the airport, whip out a foreign passport, and head home. But Mexican journalists can't do that. They already are home. On a laptop computer, Carrillo edits his video of this women's rights march before transmitting the material to the Associated Press in Washington. This was unthinkable when I first came to this country in 1977. As I watch Carrillo toil away at his craft, I'm reminded how much freelancers like me depend on people like him. For the work they do at the grassroots level of journalism, for the guidance they provide about navigating their country and their people.
Había más o menos como las 6 de la tarde. Como más allá el doctor calabiliga de médica de hadat usul de clínica, usul clínica. Como buen utsi halda yalan, hada çavga hala kaldık ben şahat da niye istaşlok otik. Ben asvakal hiç helavlısı alala pero ben vokal. Hama helavet ismi alala kaldı ki hama helavet hiç peto la peto hiç peto.
This man's story is all too common in Mexico. About twice as many women died during childbirth in Mexico as in the United States. And the U.S. has the worst rate of maternal mortality in the developed world. The numbers for infant mortality in Mexico are just as bad. Janet Jarman wants to help change that by making a documentary film.
I'm really interested in medicine and public health and ancient traditions about health. And I wanted to do a project that really showed how you could blend traditional culture and modern medicine today. And that's how I got really interested in midwives, mostly as a way to tell this story, because the midwives are often right in the middle of this debate.
Her film explores conflicting visions between midwives and medical professionals about how to provide a safe and dignified childbirth experience for women. I followed Jarman to the violent state of Guerrero, one of the locations where she's shooting her documentary. She's been working on the film for over a year. Like many other freelancers working on documentary projects, her film is funded by a major grant.
So I put together a big proposal and thought about what is the complete story here and how could I really make a difference with this topic in the lives of women and families. And I applied for the grant, and they gave it to me. And I remember sitting on my sofa reading that email that day, thinking, "Wow, this is really going to happen." And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to do a story with this much depth.
On the road to Guerrero, I asked her what it takes to be a freelancer.
I think if you're freelance, you need to have a really supportive home team, or personal life, people in your personal life who will support this lifestyle. I think it's most important. And then you make personal choices of how you want to live, and what you want to commit to in your life, and kind of compromises you want to make.
If Gerardo Carrillo is part of the technology revolution that's changing the tools of our craft, Janet Jarman is part of the gender revolution that's changing the faces of our craft. She started out as a photographer for the Miami Herald, but left to take a master's degree, then became a freelancer. Like so many photojournalists enabled by technology, she began to work in video. Foreign correspondence once was a field dominated by white, middle, and upper-class men. That's no longer the case. Guerrero is long considered one of Mexico's most violent states. It's especially known for violence against women, who often show up dead in the street, or they just disappear. So working here, sometimes at night, with an all-female team on a story about women, really put me on edge. Jarman and her team have spent the night in this hospital, where some women elect to give birth with a midwife, but with backup support of hospital staff in case of emergency.
The birth was beautiful. It was very gentle. The pictures I have of the husband and wife and how she's holding him and, using him for support and holding hands. I mean, there were just so many touching moments. And what was fascinating was why she chose this, because when they come to this hospital, the model is the woman can choose if she wants an institutional birth or if she wants to come to this section of the hospital. And this woman had had an institutional birth for her first child, and she said that she felt very lonely. And this time she thought she could have her husband in the room with her, and that really meant a lot to her, and you could see it.
Her current project may be about the specific issue of childbirth, but overall her work is about giving voice and face to the people of Mexico.
Mostly I want people to have a connection with the subjects. I want them to walk away feeling like maybe they understand a person better, or on a very deep human level, that people are not statistics, that they are real people with similar problems, same emotions, basically the same human experience.
Despite the difficulties and the dangers of their craft, freelance foreign correspondents like Jarman are driven by a deep sense of purpose. If there's a single thread that binds or defines them all, it's the need to make a difference. Back in Nogales with Yon Grillo and his fixer Milton Martinez,